Hi, I'm Jessica. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello. I make content about following Jesus, and my channel is called Transparently Jess because I'm very transparent about struggles that I've gone through and things that I'm going through, and I very willingly share things that the Lord is teaching me. You know, we've overcome by the word of the Lord, the blood of the Lamb, and the word of our testimony, right? So I'm more than willing to share the word of my testimony, and that's what this channel is about. Today I have a book review from Jeanne Guyon. It's a book called Intimacy with Christ by Jeanne Guyon. It's a French name, but Americans just call her Jeanne Guyon. I love how this book is set up. It's actually made up of how many chapters? 75 that are so short and sweet. Most chapters are like a half of a page on one side and then an eighth of a page on the other side. Look. And each chapter focuses specifically on a topic about seeking God, a topic about Him transforming your nature. I love Jeanne Guyon's writings because they're so simple. There's no big, huge, heavy, deep theological terms in here. It's so simple that a child could understand. One of these topics I'd actually like to share with you today. It's chapter 23. It says, "No fellowship with the superficial." There are some people who cause me great suffering. They are selfish and full of compromises, strange ideas, and human reasonings. Not only this, they want others to indulge and approve their ways. Such people want their self-love to be pampered. I cannot bring myself to do this. If I try, I am restrained by a master more powerful than I. Superficial relationships weaken the spirit. Rather than build up, they tear down fellowship between believers. Instead of the sweetness of mutual edification, there is only the clashing of broken gears grinding against each other. The love that dwells within your spirit is not a natural love. It arises from a place deep within. Your indwelling Lord rejects all that is not of His nature. He expels all that is not compatible with the heart of God. On the other hand, when you meet a person whose heart is turned toward God, there is a natural, or should I say supernatural, drawing between you. Do not regard the external, but the inward state of people. See if they desire to be in complete union with God. The only perfect fellowship is the union of spirits in God. The union not only exists in heaven, but also on earth, as the resurrecting power of life begins to transform the believer. A theme that I'm seeing among people who have very powerful inward relationships with Christ is that a lot of them had very horrible, humiliating experiences that cut their attachment to mankind, religious systems, and really took that connection that was severed and tethered it onto Jesus Christ Himself. And I myself have had similar experiences like this where my trust in man was completely broken through betrayal, heartache, hurt, and hypocrisy. And through those experiences, I've learned to tether myself onto Jesus. And I am so thankful now for those harsh, hurting experiences. So many of these topics she speaks of have ring true in my own life, and they were building blocks in my life that led me to be able to really start engaging in a beautiful inward relationship with Jesus Christ. Relationship where He really truly became my source of joy, the bread from heaven, my source of love and compassion and deliverance and the fruits of the Spirit. At the back of this book, there's a series of letters between Guyon and Fenelon. I don't know who this is necessarily, but according to the correspondence between them, I can tell it's like a leader in their church at the time, which was the Catholic Church. I will say that from what I've heard about Jeanne Guyon, she was persecuted for her belief. She was persecuted for her intimacy with Jesus and her ideas, which seem to be very strange. There's always controversy over oil. The oil of the anointing, crude oil in the Middle East. She says here in chapter 1, an external religion, with its rules and forms, has taken the place of an inward experience with Christ. The saints of old, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Enoch, and Job, knew and experienced God inwardly in a personal and vital way. For Christ to truly reign within you, everything must be submitted to him without reservation. There are many who oppose such a total surrender to this reign. Many pray, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." But then they have no intention of giving up their own ways, nor allowing the cross to deal with their most deeply held desires. When you look at him, there's a transference of divine wisdom and knowledge, and it comes into you when you're in his presence. The glory of his beauty shines on you with an unveiled face. Boop, you unveil the face of your heart, and there's a shining between you. And the beauty of that glory, like bouncing back and forth, is incredible. It's his nature, his wisdom, his knowledge, his everything about him just permeates your being as you look at him. And I believe a lot of the wisdom written in this book would not have been able to have been written if Jeanne had not been experiencing God's presence as a daily sustenance bread in her life. So I 100% recommend this read to any believer who is interested in having more than a surface level relationship with God. Jeanne talks about practical ways that God has transformed her heart, her mind, her will and emotions, and her nature as she has encountered Jesus. And this is a great encourager to all those who are seeking intimacy with Christ. Thanks, guys, for tuning into my book review. If you really like this content, like this material, I've been reading a lot of books lately, so I plan to do a lot more book reviews about incredible saints with amazing testimonies. So thanks for tuning in.